Good morning. It's been a few weeks since I did any streaming. All right, let's take a look at this issue today. So these blue triangles that appear on sketches and then won't let these profiles fill in. A lot of the time, it's because geometry gets moved to two different planes. So this triangle is kind of representing these 2 points connecting to this point on another plane. In this case, that's not what it is. So let's investigate that. So as provided with the file here, we'll open up Fusion 360. And let's open this file. And you can see it quite clearly here on this file. So what that's not going to let us do is properly extrude this. So if I extrude this to the thickness of 14 gauge, it's going to leave that geometry out. Let's go back and use the extrude command again. We might be able to force it. Let's see. Bring up that sketch again. Yeah. Doesn't want to do that. So this is going to be an issue with the splines. Let's go back to how the file was originally. So this is the file in the original state it was sent. Let's go in and edit this sketch. We can see this problem is this right here. This is leading up to it. This is leading up to it. This is leading up to it. So what do we have going on here? Do we have another sketch line? So we have one sketch line here, and then another piece of a sketch line here, it looks like. So 2 sketch lines under here. Right there. Keeps wanting to highlight that as a separate point. Let's see if I can make it do that right there. But it won't let me select it, eh? It's kind of showing it as a separate point. Anyhow, this spline's causing us issues. There's a couple things there where it's has a break in it for some reason that's not really showing up. And that could be it was part of the constraint package that was generated with it when it was first made, and then when it was copied and moved into this location, it was missing a few of those points. Another point, we're missing our intersection here. We should have a black intersection dot, and then we have this extension running past where it's intersecting. And I think all these combinations is what's causing this. So like if I went in here and deleted this line, all of a sudden we have no problems anymore. So that line is our problems. So let's see, if I go here and delete this line, we still have problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to remake this line and have it connect up properly with the end. So I'm going to just make that a construction line for now. And it also get rid of that triangle, and then I will create a fit point spline again. I don't know how accurate it really needs to be, but let's get it pretty accurate. And then we'll make sure we connect it to the end. Okay. And now we should have proper geometry. We'll finish this sketch, hit E for extrude. And now all is happy with this sketch. I will repost this FD. What the hell? I don't even remember what it's called. F3D file. Oh, hello. Speedy Boy Spy. I'll upload this back to the forum. And I'm going to look at one other problem we had on the forum the other day. It was just a really small problem, so it's probably a good one to go over. Okay, let's export this. F3D, tin mod. And then I'll put that on the forum. Where are you? Right here. File from video. There we go. I'm actually going to make one other picture while I have all this open for context for whoever looks at this later. I wonder if that will export a picture. No, it won't with it highlighted. I'm just going to print screen here. We'll move on to the next thing here in a second. Let's get this done first. I'm just going to open up 3D Paint. It's actually a pretty awesome program that just comes with Windows. Paint 3D, it's called. Showing my whole screen there. I have 4 monitors, that's why my copy and paste just shows so much content. There we go, a nice picture with some context. What are we going to call it? Blue triangle F360 fix. Sure. And we'll put that one on the forum as well. There we go. The issue is with the spline. All right. Now let's see if I can find that other problem from the other day. Oh, it's Hank from the forum. Thanks for help. Yes, you're very, very welcome. Topics. It was about a added line. Let's just see if I can find it in the Fusion 360. I didn't answer it then. It was just a small question. It was about an added line. Mystery line in contour. It's this one here. So it was about this picture. And so this image is pretty prevalent, like the forever combined infinity rings. But he was having some problems that it's really just it's a really garbage rendering. So you go in here and look. I can't zoom in on here, but anyhow, you can tell this isn't a smooth line, and for such simple geometry, there's no reason for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this image, and then we're going to open Autodesk again, or Fusion again, and let's start a new drawing. Start it on the XY plane. I don't know how big it needs to be. Let's say this thing is did it say on the site? Let's take a look. Just scanning through quick. Anyhow, I feel like there's another post made about that somewhere. Let's go back to Fusion. So I would just hand draw this. So create something that's roughly the size of the outer dimensions that I want. Use a construction line so it doesn't mess with anything later. Let's say it's 12 by 6 inches ish. Perfect. We're going to insert a canvas right now. We're going to use this as our canvas. Let's get it in here. All right. Okay, let's start a sketch. It's roughly what we want here. We'll get the ellipse tool, because this is just going to be a series of ellipses. If you grab that middle white point, you can move it around. If you grab the outer point, you can start distorting its size. If you grab these ones, you can move it around also. Alright, that's looking pretty close. Perfect. Now let's repeat ellipse. I think most of these lines will be on the center line at different axes. Axis. Not sure if you can pluralize axes. Axi. Okay, that ellipse is pretty close. You can see that it's black because it has some constraints, which means it's constrained to the center. No, it is basically right on, eh? Be a little above right there. Okay, perfect. Create the ellipse again. That's going to be just a hair higher, I think. Alright, and the same, we'll go slightly above again. Oh. That one was out of square with everything else. I don't want that. At least this will be a little bit more geometrically clean, and it'll cut really easy because it'll be a actual solid line instead of a jagged. Oh man. Come on. You keep not confirming that one. Perfect. That one I'm going to need to bring down a bit. All right. There we go. Perfect. So now we have those, and they're geometrically correct. And that's the lasso selection method, which I'm not a huge fan of. Well, I mean, I'm a fan of it when it's being used in the right context. Okay, we'll copy this over. Sit like that, roughly. Oh, it's a little smaller, so that ring looks like it's on a little bit different of a other axis. That's fine, so we'll cancel that, and we'll just make a new series of ellipses here. Alright. That's not very close, but we'll dial it in here by moving this. All right. Repeat ellipse. Oh, I want that up a little bit more. Starting to get a few lines on there. I'm losing track of what I'm trying to do. Alright, I can kind of see what they're doing here now too. Move, let's pivot it on the same line. Create a copy. Create another ellipse. And we'll move this one down a little bit. It's looking a little busy, but it's going to work awesome. And just one more here. Let's copy this. Oh, I'm going to parallel up those two lines because, of course, they there we go. Let's get that ellipse tool out again. Oh, that got busy quick. It's this one I need to do. Actually, I could probably do it with the copy tool. Copy. Move. Copy. Make sure the pivot line is set up here. And always make sure you're done when you're setting a pivot line. Like that. Alright. And you can see where these cuts are going to be. Alright, let's extrude that. So we're going to need that, 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 this part, this part, this part, this part, this part. Alright, that's about right. Let's extrude that to the thickness of 14 gauge. Take a look at what we have. Okay. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let's get rid of the canvas and the sketch. And yeah, pretty clean representation of that ring. And a lot more geometrically correct. Feel like that could go down. So you could go here too and actually bring up these sketches. I could grab this and move it here and it'll change that body. There, that's a little better. Alright, well I'm going to repost this to the forum now. I'll show you how to make a DXF out of this body here. Let's make a new sketch. We're going to make it on the XY plane. And now I'm going to hit P for project. I'm going to project all this geometry. Okay. Finish that sketch. And now on under sketch 3 here, I will right click, go to save as DXF. And I'll put rings from forum. Alright, and I'll also save this. I might as well save and post this F3D file too. Save. I'm in project. No, cancel. Let's just do an F3D. I don't need it on my computer. Export F3D, and we'll go rings forum example 10. There we go. And let's post all that to the forum and call it a day. Right here. I'll just post it in here and add some context to it in a second. All right, well, thank you for, oh, hey, Jim. Jim's on there. Well, thank you, Jim. I've had a little practice. I'm a little bit compulsive, if you can imagine. Okay, guys. Well, have a good Sunday. I'm taking my kids to the carnival that's being set up in town, and I'll see if I can take a picture of one of those distribution boxes we were talking about on the post your projects topic. Later.